Hey Red Knights, Mr. Hantak is back with yet another Schoology help video. This time let's talk about completing work in Schoology. So maybe you know how to access everything in Schoology, but you just don't know where to start on completing work. Right now I'm logged in as Joe, once again, not actually one of my students, but I enrolled him in this course in Schoology to use as a demonstration. Let's look at day one here so that Joe can get started on his work, his fake work, I suppose. So one thing to notice, inside of day one, there's these little check marks that say must view the item. These are called student completion rules. It's one way that teachers can keep track of which of their students are doing what in their courses. This might be on a graded basis, so it's in Joe's best interest to complete these little check marks as he sees them. It is possible for teachers to set these up in such a way that you have to complete them one by one. So I didn't do that for this first lesson, but if I had, Joe would have to complete day one due first. He has to simply view it because it says must view the item before he moves on to the lesson agenda, before he moves on to the next one. He'll want to make sure that these check marks are cleared. So I go to day one due first. He's viewed the item. This one simply says watch the Meet Mr. Hantak video, blah blah blah. He can go back and it'll say, hey, you viewed the item. So that's just a visual for him to know that he's completed that work. A lot of these are really simple materials right here, so these are things that he has to view. This one's an assignment. I'll cover submitting assignments in just a moment. Lesson agendas are things that he has to view, videos to view. Those are really simple. Let's go ahead and look at this MLHS new student intro video. This is an actual assignment that requires a submission, and I'll teach that process here. So this particular assignment is simply to create a small video introducing yourself to the class. Let's say Joe creates his just on his smartphone. Now how does he submit that assignment? Well, for this one I've given two options. One is to upload it directly. I'll teach that in just a moment here. The other is to use the media album directly below. I'll demonstrate that just for funsies. So let's look this up real quick. So on the right hand side there's this white button titled Submit Assignment. For most Schoology assignments, this is kind of the magic button to submit something from your computer, to submit a file. Could be a photo, could be a video, could be a document, to actually cover your submission for that particular assignment. So I'm going to click on that real quick. There's actually two options for how Joe does this. On upload, notice that it does give him an option to create an audio-video recording. That's kind of a new feature on Schoology that I'm still learning. But if I click File, it'll then pull up my documents on my computer that he can pull from. If I go to Resources, Apps, and then OneDrive, blah, blah, blah. If I hit Authorize and actually sign in as Joe, let's say he's got let's say his document is saved inside of Office 365. If he signs in this way, he can pull it right off of the internet and submit it that way as well. Notice that this does work file types wise for documents, but it would also work for pictures. It works for videos, works for all kinds of things. In this particular assignment, he would want to upload a video. I know the process for doing this on a mobile device, so if you're doing this through the Schoology app, it might look a little bit different. Be on the lookout for another video to demonstrate that process, because I am not an expert on that myself yet. Just for fun, the other method that I gave Joe to submit this particular assignment is the Introduction Videos album. I like media albums in Schoology. It's not a super common material type that a ton of teachers use, but maybe your teacher will use it. The way that Joe can submit this time is just add media. And then the process is the same. He can attach his file from his computer directly into this album. Again, this should work through the Schoology app as well, directly from his phone. Or he could simply email that video file to himself, download it, and then attach it here. There are some other material types that I'll teach you submissions for as well, but that is how you submit a general assignment in Schoology.